Let us talk about this new governor. Oh my gosh. All right, so Cuomo stepped down, right? He amid sexual allegations, coming off of a segue from R. Kelly, but my. So he stepped down, and this woman stepped in. Now, I didn't know anything about her. I haven't lived in New York in a couple years. I lived in New York most of my adult life, in fact, and most of that time I wasn't politically aware at all. And now, of course, if you watch my show, you know that I am very much paying attention to everything that is going on around me, as much as I can anyway. And this is pretty crazy. This woman is a tyrant, and I'm going to show you a few videos of her speaking. One of them is really weird, but it's all about this, though. So 83,000 New York hospital workers could lose their jobs under state's new vaccine mandate. Yeah, 83,000 of them are set to lose their jobs. The mandate requires that all healthcare workers receive the jab. Ahead of the mandate's effect, some hospital networks, including Northwell Health, have already terminated the employment of over 24 healthcare workers. I'm sorry. A pandemic so bad, we can afford firing 83,000 hospital workers in just New York. So I had to say it. Let's see here. Others have been giving 30 days notice to receive the vaccine or lose their jobs. According to the New York state officials, around 16% of hospital workers are not fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. What does that mean? The number is equal to slightly more than 83,000 employees. Steve Corwin, the president and CEO of New York Presbyterian Hospitals, one of the largest hospital networks in the United States, says that the vaccine mandate is necessary to get everyone fully vaccinated. Around 30% of staff were unvaccinated before the hospital network's own vaccination deadline last week. However, less than 1% refused to take the shot and resigned. The rest got the jab. CBS News reports here, so out of 48,000 employees and affiliated physicians, we have less than 220 that have chosen to not get the vaccine, Corwin told CBS. The Erie County Medical Center in Buffalo, about 5% of the staff, roughly 400 people, are unvaccinated and on leave. We stopped elective inpatient surgeries. We stopped some of our outpatient patient visits. We stopped ICU medical transfers from other referral rural hospitals. We've asked for more time to work on strategies with the state to ensure that as many people as possible get vaccinated, says Tom Quattroach. I don't know how to say that, but that is the president and CEO of the Erie County Medical Center. On Monday, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, I don't even know how to say her name, actually. I've never heard it out loud, announced plans to dispatch National Guard troops to fill in at hospitals that are short-staffed due to the mass termination or resignation of employees who refuse to take the vaccine. A similar vaccination mandate for teachers is expected to take effect in New York City later this week. However, it is unlikely to see a massive fallout, as the teachers union says 97% of its members are already vaccinated. Over the weekend, New York City said that roughly 7,000 education workers received the shot. Washington Post reports that the restrictions are causing a staffing shortage crisis, prompting Governor Hochul to declare a disaster emergency as tens of thousands of workers face termination in the next coming weeks. Okay, this is where I'm going to play the first video. Okay, and pardon my French if reading, because this is from my Twitter page, and I'm rather spicy over on my Twitter feed. I'm not going to, of course, read, but you can see. Oh no, not this one. Hold on. Actually, that's the weird one. I'm going to say that one in a little bit. So this is when she's got a press conference. Listen to what she says here.
And we'll be nation leading with our mandate, which strikes at midnight tonight, when everyone is expected in a hospital in the state of New York or a healthcare facility to have been vaccinated. I will be signing an executive order to give me the emergency powers necessary to address these shortages where they occur. That's going to allow me to deploy the National Guard, who are medically trained.
Wow.
deploy people who've been retired, who may have had a license lapse, bring in people from elsewhere. That is not my first position, though, my friends.
That is not my first position here, my friends. My friends? What is this? Who you're the governor. Why are you trying to clearly gaslight people? She wrote an executive order to give herself more powers. We watched Gretchen Whitmer do that. She was getting in trouble for it. People were pissed that she had these executive powers. You think the executive powers that this woman now holds, she's going to relinquish anytime soon? You think it's only to be able to put the National Guard in these hospitals to help out? Yeah, right. This woman is absolutely bonkers. And now I'm going to play this because I couldn't believe I heard this. This is the same woman.
I prayed a lot to God during this time. And you know what? God did answer our prayers. He made the smartest men and women, the scientists, the doctors, the researchers. He made them come up with a vaccine. That is from God to us. And we must say, thank you, God. Thank you. And I wear my vaccinated necklace all the time to say, I'm vaccinated. All of you. Yes, I know you're vaccinated. You're the smart ones. But you know there's people out there who aren't listening.
You're the smart ones. All right, so saying that if you didn't get vaccinated, you're idiots. How many people in that crowd do you think weren't vaccinated? Oh, it gets worse.
To God and what God wants. You know this. You know who they are. I need you to be my apostles. I need you to...
What? She wants these people to be her apostles? Who does she think she is? Soy Jesus? It's Jesus? That was just kind of a joke, but my goodness. She's telling people to go be her apostles. This woman just became governor and is now making executive orders to give herself emergency powers, telling people to be her apostles, telling people that the vaccine is a gift from God. I'm pretty sure that's sacrilegious, what she's doing here. I'm pretty sure that that would be frowned upon if you're religious. Because I don't think this woman's religious. I think she's pandering to a room full of, it seems she's in some sort of a church. Holy cow. Like, I couldn't believe this when I first heard this. That's why I said on Twitter, I'm like, who the F does this woman think she is? She thinks she's some sort of, like, deity. What?
To go out and talk about it and say, we owe this to each other. We love each other. Jesus taught us to love one another.
Oh, but I'm pretty sure Jesus wouldn't have turned anyone away if they were vaccinated or not. Because it really seems like that's their mentality nowadays. That you are somehow sick if you aren't vaccinated. Now look, I have to do this. YouTube, I am not a doctor. I'm not advocating for anyone, any sort of medical advice at all. I'm just reading this news and reporting on it. Now, currently, the NBA, some NBA players are actually standing up. And they're talking about how, according to the CDC, you can still transmit it and get it, and that they actually have already gotten COVID. So why should they don't fear it. I just posted a clip from him earlier today. Let's see. Here's one of them.
Athletic.
It's great.
What is it about the vaccine that makes you...
This guy's awesome. These guys are heroes. They're standing up saying, hey, look, I've had it already. And people, we're still learning about natural immunity, but, I'm not in fear because I've had it. And, the vaccine, according to the CDC, you can still get it and still transmit it. So it just reduces the severity of your own symptoms, which he says he's young and healthy and he's already had it. So he doesn't need to fear it. Now, go back to this woman who's talking about how it's some sort of gift from God.
How do you show that love? But to care.
And that you show love by getting it. This is where these people are right now. They're turning it into you're evil now. I'm already used to it because I'm a Trump supporter openly, right? If you're a Trump supporter, they think you're evil. They think you're racist. Anyone who is a Trump supporter, any of these leftists will look at you and be like, whoa, racist, misogynist, bigot, whatever insult that they're throwing out nowadays. Well, now it's being clumped together with the unvaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, suddenly now you're evil. You're the smart ones, she said, implicating that you're an idiot. When there's reports of people who are unvaccinated tend to be significantly more informed about all of everything, according to a bunch of different articles that I've read. I don't have them up right now. It just came to me because people are doing their research. I certainly have. I've read a lot of stuff, probably the most amount of things about the vaccines, but I can't talk about them because YouTube gave me multiple strikes by talking about them. I don't even know if I'm at risk right now, but I'm not giving any medical advice. I want you to all follow your doctors, but I also follow logic myself. These basketball players are right. They're just asking questions. We're not even allowed to ask questions anymore. Granted, I have a show and there's no one here to talk to, ask questions and medical professional, whatever. So I refrain from making statements. But this woman is firing over 83,000 people because they've chosen to not risk it because they don't feel that it's worth it for them. Biden says that he needs to have 97 to 98% of the U.S. population vaccinated before we go back to normal life. Bullshit. I'm sorry. There's no way. They're never going to go back to normal. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I do not believe it at all. Look at California. They just made mail-in voting permanent. Mail-in voting was supposed to be just because of the pandemic. No, but now it's permanent there. Why? We have absentee voting. If you can't make it physically in, that's what absentee ballots are for. But now they're maintaining this permanency for these different things that were implemented because of the pandemic. They never want it to go away. As far as I'm concerned, it's all about control. All right, I'm gonna be done before I get in trouble because I feel like I am at risk whenever I talk about this kind of stuff. I'm at risk of getting in trouble, and you never know. You never know. Look, again, I'm not a medical doctor. YouTube, I'm not advocating for anything. I want people to follow their doctor's advice and do what's best for them. Period. All right? But seriously though, this woman scares me. All right? This woman, she went authoritarian real quick. Okay? Real quick.